Introverts are often misunderstood in matters of love and attraction. While extroverts may openly express their feelings, introverts tend to take a quieter, more subtle approach. If you're trying to figure out whether an introvert likes you, the signs might not be as obvious, but they are there. Did you know that introverts make up about 30 to 50% of the population? That means there's a very good chance someone close to you operates in this quiet and introspective way. Introverts experience relationships differently from extroverts. Their brains are wired to process information more deeply, which is why their actions often seem deliberate and thoughtful. This can make their feelings harder to read, but also far more meaningful once you understand them. Today, we'll decode these subtle yet meaningful signs. We'll dive into the science of introversion, the psychology of communication, and even the historical perceptions of introverted behavior. For example, did you know that in ancient Greece, introversion was celebrated as a sign of wisdom and introspection? By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer understanding of how you recognize when an introvert has feelings for you, and trust me, it's worth paying attention to. Stick around because these signs could change the way you view quiet expressions of affection. Point 1, they make time for you despite their need for solitude. One of the defining traits of introverts is their need for alone time to recharge. This isn't a preference, it's a psychological necessity. According to psychologist Carl Jung, introverts derive their energy from internal reflection rather than external stimulation. If an introvert consistently makes time for you, they're prioritizing you over their natural inclination for solitude. Example, an introvert might cancel a quiet night at home to spend time with you, even if it's just for a simple activity like taking a walk or grabbing some coffee. This sacrifice shows that you're important to them. The effort they make to share their limited social energy is a clear and genuine sign of affection. Research supports this behavior, showing that introverts experience higher levels of mental fatigue from social interactions compared to extroverts. Yet, when they choose to allocate their energy to someone, it demonstrates that they value that person significantly. This choice is deliberate, it's thoughtful, and it's deeply meaningful. Point 2, they communicate subtly through texts or notes. Introverts often feel more comfortable expressing their feelings in writing rather than speaking. This is because written communication gives them time to process their thoughts and choose their words carefully. If you notice an introvert sending thoughtful texts, sharing meaningful quotes, or even writing notes for you, it's a strong sign they are deeply caring about you. Psychologists explain this behavior through the lens of emotional safety. Writing allows introverts to communicate in a way that feels less vulnerable than face-to-face conversations. Example, an introvert might send you a text saying, "I thought of you while I was doing this and when I saw this," or they leave a handwritten note that subtly expresses their admiration for you. These gestures might seem small, but they often carry significant emotional weight for them. Additionally, studies on introverted communication styles reveal that introverts prioritize meaningful connections over surface-level interactions. Their texts or notes might include personal reflections, thoughtful questions, or shared interests, all of which to a desire to deepen the relationship. Point 3, they exhibit nervous or awkward body language. Body language can reveal a lot about an introvert's feelings, especially when they're around someone they like. Unlike extroverts who might confidently express attraction, introverts often show their feelings through subtle physical cues. Nervous habits like fidgeting, avoiding prolonged eye contact, or blushing can indicate that they're trying to manage their emotions around you. According to research on nonverbal communication, introverts are more likely to display leakage, unintentional expression of emotion, because they are not as practiced at masking their feelings. If you notice these signs, don't mistake them for disinterest. Instead, they're likely indicators of how much they care about making a good impression on you. Consider the psychological basis behind this behavior. When introverts feel attracted to someone, their body releases adrenaline, which can cause nervousness and fidgeting. This response is entirely natural, and it's their way of managing the excitement of being near someone they admire. Point 4, they go out of their comfort zone for you. Introverts are creatures of habit and they thrive within their comfort zones. However, when an introvert likes you, they may be willing to step outside their usual routines to make you happier or show their interest. This could include attending a social event they normally avoid or trying an activity they wouldn't usually consider. The psychology behind this lies in their desire to create shared experiences. Introverts value deep connections and they're willing to make sacrifices to strengthen those bonds. For example, if they know you love karaoke, they might agree to join you despite their discomfort in crowded settings. These efforts reflect a deeper level of care and commitment. Historically, introverts have been viewed as less likely to take risks. However, when it comes to relationships, they often push their boundaries to demonstrate their dedication. This willingness to adapt speaks volumes about their feelings and their desire to invest in the relationship. Point 5, they share their alone time with you. For introverts, alone time is sacred. It's their way of recharging and maintaining emotional balance. If an introvert invites you into their personal space or suggests spending time together in a quiet, low-key setting, that's a significant gesture. Sharing their alone time doesn't just mean being inside the same room. It's about creating a space where they feel comfortable being themselves. This might look like inviting you over to read, maybe watch a movie, or enjoy a peaceful walk. These moments are where introverts feel most authentic, and by including you, they're showing that they trust you with their true selves. The neuroscience of introversion highlights how these quiet moments impact the brain. Introverts' brains are more sensitive to dopamine, meaning they prefer calm, low-stimulation environments. By sharing these moments with you, they're letting you into their world, a world they typically reserve just for themselves. Recognizing the signs that an introvert likes you requires patience and attention to detail. Their expressions of affection may not be loud or flashy, but they are deeply meaningful. From sacrificing their solitude to sharing their private world with you, introverts communicate their feelings in ways that are authentic and heartfelt.